Huh?
Should I look at you or into the phone camera?
Okay, so let's see here. So thinking about isolation. I mean, we are definitely evolved to be social creatures. We are so intensely social that our brains have a hard time sometimes distinguishing between like social connection and like actual physical contact. It's interesting, the act of being left out of things and being isolated from others actually activates the same part of our brain that actually being physically cold does. Things have just sort of evolved over time to just encourage us to seek out community, to release endorphins when we're in contact with other people. And so this whole process of being isolated then, I think is really challenging. It's not something that we were really designed for. I think we're really fortunate to have so many technological resources to try to recreate social connection even when we can't be physically near to each other. Teenagers are often kind of made fun of by adults for like being on their phones so much and texting so much and FaceTiming and calling and whatever. But now is obviously the time to be doing that as much as you can. Make sure that you are getting outside when you can, physically moving your body, trying to continue to go through the motions of normal routines, even when things feel very weird. Like some friends and I were talking recently about how important it is to still try to, get up at a reasonable hour.
A couple days ago, I woke up at 5, and it just felt like one of the best days of this break. So I don't know, I need to wake up early tomorrow. I'm hoping to wake up at 5 again tomorrow. I realize it's easier for me to wake up when I push myself to do something in the early morning. What made me able to wake up at 5 was I said, I want to film the sunrise. Why not? So that sunrise, which is at 6, is like that thing that pushes me to wake up, because I know if I wake up later, then I'm gonna be too late. So I'm trying to give myself a reason to wake up.
I love being in the classroom. I love being with my students. But these past few months, I've been home with my babies. So I was lucky in a sense that I was home for a little while, and then when we transitioned to home learning and distance learning, then I got to stay at home.
It's been a mixed kind of bag of emotions, but staying inside has kind of been the same for me in a sense, just because I have had a baby that I've been looking after. So luckily, I'm not too bored because I have a tiny child that depends on me.
So we can apply the concepts that we've learned in class to what's going on, because it is unfortunately like a really good example for all the concepts that we've learned. Also, this is my baby. Isn't he so cute? Look at him. Okay.
There's definitely some positives. One is being able to be home with my 2 kids. And so when I go on lunch break and bathroom breaks, I get to still see them.
I think that I am definitely like a notorious extrovert. I really enjoy people. I enjoy making people laugh, and I enjoy like talking with classmates and teachers and people. So I feel like I definitely am feeling really lonely, especially because my My dad is an essential worker. He works for a company that is making, he works for a metrology company, and they're helping make the needles that are supposed to hopefully end up making the vaccine. So, like, he's a very essential worker. So I'm stuck at home from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m., which is kind of sad. And then I can't see my mom until all this is over because my stepdad is immunocompromised. So definitely feeling a little lonely.
I made an Instagram page a couple months ago. It was a mock student council candidate page, I guess, I made with my dog. And so through that platform on Instagram, I just I was like, it was the first week of distance learning, and so I was like, we'll just give them info and also just kind of raise morale by making a virtual art attack. Good morning, OSHA. Today is Monday, March 16th. Just as a joke. I did as with my cowboy hat on, and it was just me having fun. And that got like over 1,000 views on Instagram in a couple days. I was like, whoa.
I believe it was the Friday before spring break. That morning, I don't know how it came into my mind, but I was like I thought it'd be cool to walk around OSHA and just make it at in Minecraft, I guess. And just that morning, I was like in a zone of just writing out measurements and measuring all the stuff I need. And I told some friends about it, and they thought it was cool, and they wanted to help me out with the project. I posted on Instagram, and I made a Discord, and the project just kept growing. And I found myself with a team and like with the responsibility of managing people, which I've never done before. So that's been really cool.
I like to have a positive outlook because being negative doesn't help the situation at all. So just kind of like I was going back through all of my albums of every day when I was posting, and just kind of seeing, because like there's a lot of stuff that I didn't realize I really appreciated about OSHA, like just seeing all the goofy seniors out on 10th Street, or just seeing all the happy faces, like, on DMS, and people just wanting to be interactive with OSHA candidates. That's like probably the part I miss most a little bit, I like to consider myself to be like a street photographer, kind of, in a sense that I like to go around OSHA and documenting the average day of OSHA events, So I feel like I want to kind of transfer that from doing OSHA stuff into trying to do, life photography, like just documenting this whole event, because this is a one-in-a-lifetime thing that's ever going to happen. I remember I was looking at like a post from The Atlantic recently and just seeing, because I wanted to see like what will be the image that defines this event. And so I was looking at the Atlantic's post, and it's just interesting to see like all these like images that tell a story, because like people are suffering, people are having to adapt, like there's just so much going on. And I guess it'll be really hard to have one image define this event, but it'll be cool to see the images that'll be on the top of the list, like the things that really create an emotion, I guess.
I've been seeing other DJs doing live streams on Instagram. I was like, oh, what if I did that for the school? So I brought it up to the advisors, and they're like, yeah, let's do that. I feel like everybody looks forward to Friday lunches, even though it's not the same. Now that I'm doing the live streams, I feel like it kind of gives them a little piece of what they were missing at OSHA, just going out at lunch and listening to music and hanging out. It's not the same at all because you're by yourself. You don't really get that energy, but I feel like it's good enough to hold people off.
It does feel like I'm not able to talk to other artists. I still am creating things. I'm still like drawing things, and I have ideas like of paintings that I want to do, or like worlds that are just coming up in my head that I want to create, but it still feels like I'm not able to be with other creative people as I'm doing my work.
And let's say just sort of instead of face-to-face, screen to screen over Zoom, do you get that same excitement?
It's different. I think that they're definitely in a discussion kind of way. It can be exciting because it's fun when you have everybody logged in and you can see all their faces at one time and they're all looking at you. Sometimes that doesn't happen when you're in class. So I think that creates a different dynamic. I was actually listening to a news report and it was about Zoom exhaustion and the idea that when you're always having to kind of be on and be watched and watch others and that can be a little bit draining, and I think that is true. I think there's definitely an exhaustion that comes from being video conferencing all day.
I feel like I'm gonna isolate myself more, because after being in like this situation where I'm forced to isolate, I don't know, sometimes my friends will FaceTime me and I'll just like not respond because I like just being in this area. I feel like it'll change stuff socially, but also academically. I don't think I would be as prepared as if I was really in school.
If I had known then what I know now, I would have talked to my mom more. Because I definitely am feeling like I wasted some of my time that I could have spent with her just before this, now that I'm not going to be able to see her for the foreseeable future.
Have you been able to, at least keep contact with her digitally?
Yes, we've been FaceTiming a few times a week.
One of my students shared during office hours, which I thought was kind of profound and really interesting, was he talked about how there's all this pressure of this very particular timeline, and it feels sometimes for a number of students like their life is sort of planned out for them for the next several years, that they go to school and they do this particular thing and they get these grades, and then they go to college, and like that the timeline is set. And he was saying it's really interesting to see how this event is forcing everything to become flexible. Everything is adaptable, everything is flexible. We can kind of figure out how to manage these sorts of things. And so I hope that that'll be another realization for my students, that they have a lot of options, and there's no one right way to do things.
Do you think maybe, I know seniors and even juniors, I guess to an extent, are feeling this really hard. Do you think that this will make your high school years a little bit more meaningful because you know how affecting it is to have that all taken away?
Yeah, because like I'll go on TikTok and I'll see like all these seniors who are so sad because they can't do their graduation, and it like makes me want to like cherish the years that I have at school so much more.